in the end, we do like a good live session and the quality of the video is nice as well that I can post. However, I'm gonna start recording in my Zoom anyway. All right, guys, if you can hear me, please type yes so that I know that I'm all fine. Hi, Jaideep, I can see you as well. Brilliant. Keshav is here as well. All right, super. Let me share my screen and let's start the analysis. All right, guys. So yeah, super. All right, guys. So as I said, we're gonna start. So I've got about 26 stocks. As you know that we always filter the stocks before we start doing the analysis. So I've got about 26 stocks in the purple list, and of course about 3 or 4 cash stocks that we can discuss today for a possible opportunity. That is what we are here for. All right, so let's begin. So we've got Aarti Industries. If you can see, I've got a weekly chart here. Weekly chart, they had a bullish divergence, it's going up. So you are bullish, but you have a daily bearish divergence. That is why it is in the list. Now, in terms of where the bearish divergence is, you can understand that there is a resistance here. And you can expect the prices to maybe correct to these levels, like to create a head and shoulder, maybe, maybe EMAs and, like supposedly somewhere here, and then maybe get an up move here. So you do have a bearish divergence, you do have a narrow CPR, so maybe you can trade and make use of that particular setup. That is why this is in the list. Then we have AB Capital. Again, in the weekly chart, you can see it is at EMA. You had a bullish divergence. You again have a bullish divergence. That's triple bullish divergence in AB Capital. There is a corrective channel. And, I mean, two things can happen. In the end, you can see there is a daily bearish hourly bearish divergence, and the prices can correct and create a, bullish divergence in the hourly chart. However, because you have such a beautiful daily triple bullish divergence, I think if it goes above the CPR here or gap up opening or something, you can take advantage. And even in the channel, if the prices have to reach here, wo yahan tak pahunch sakta hai. So you can probably take advantage of this setup as well. So AB Capital is in the list because daily triple bullish divergence. Then you have ACC. In ACC, we have a weekly bearish divergence. Surprisingly, last week was a shooting star. This week is a doji. And there is a 0-1-2 kind of a setup in the daily chart. And in the daily chart, it has kind of taking resistance from the R1, which we can see here as well. And you have a narrow CPR in the hourly chart, which is a WCPR, which is a weekly CPR. So now the prices may correct from here as well. Now, people try and understand, people who are here and are not in the tribe or who have not learned from us, maybe these terminologies you wouldn't understand, and it is okay. The entire point here is for you to understand कि हम scanning कैसे करते हैं, technical analysis देख के. अगर आप यहाँ पे नए हो तो get in touch with us. We are coming with a batch in September, 23rd of September, and be a part of it, learn, and you'll understand how we're doing it. So anyway, coming back to the stock, we've got ACC bearish divergence in the weekly chart. Daily में 0-1-2 setup है, R1 से resistance है, trend line है hourly chart में, narrow weekly CPR है. So everything says that this can correct a little bit. And which is okay, I believe. Then you have Ashok Leyland. Ashok Leyland, you can see it's at weekly EMA. You have a daily bullish divergence, and the prices are moving up from the S1. So bullish divergence at S1, which is a good sign as well. Again, you have a narrow weekly CPR, and you can expect the prices to go higher as well. So this also is a decent setup, and these couple of setups that we've discussed, AB Capital, Ashok Leyland, ACC, these are pretty good setups. Then we come to Bata India. Bata India mein kya hai ki it is at weekly EMA. You have a bullish divergence now, and once again, there is an hourly gap CPR narrow है and monthly CPR भी narrow है. So a good thing would be if it goes above the CPR, exhausts the gap in an hourly chart, and then maybe you can take a position and use the stop losses here. All right, that would be a good plan to keep. Then you have City Union Bank. Now I've kept this in the list. I've kept a couple of stocks in the list to discuss. Maybe it's not the best position, like, you know, Ashok Leyland, ACC, AB Capital and all, but ये list में just because so that you understand why, you know, I am observing it or looking at it. Now CUB में क्या है कि यहाँ पे, you know, you can see there was a gap up, exhausted by a gap down, और बार बार यहाँ से resistance ले रहा है. इस बार भी यहाँ पे resistance ले रहा है, but either this like does a fall and, you know, again comes here, or maybe 012, maybe EMA check or whatever, but ये गैप एग्जॉस्ट होना बहुत जरूरी है. ये सिमिलर सेटअप हमने IOCP जहां पे भी गैप्स है, डेली गैप्स में हमने ये देखा है. यू नो, टाइप यस इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड, इफ यू रियलाइज दिस, दैट हमने ये गैप्स और भी सेटअप्स में देखा है जहां पे बार बार जाके वो रेजिस्टेंस लेके यू नो नीचे आ गया है, एंड यू रियलाइज कि ये गैप कितना इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है इसके लिए. ऑलराइट, टाइप यस इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड, बिकॉज आई नो दैट मे बी you know, you've entered this but it is at the gap and आप hope कर रहे हो. Remember, hope is not a strategy. I'm not saying ये gap exhaust नहीं होगा, मैं खाली ये बोल रहा हूँ कि हम अगर इसके ऊपर एंटर करें तो बेटर होगा. ठीक है. Then we come to Cummins India. Now somebody was asking me about this stock in the gym and I did not understand why, because ये मेरी लिस्ट में था नहीं, but of course they have scanned. ये एक bullish divergence था, 012 है, सब कुछ है. My problem here is for a reversal, यहाँ पे अभी वाइड CPR है. ठीक है, there's a wide monthly CPR now at weekly EMA, and अब जाके hourly narrow CPR बना है. So if this has to go up, you can see this red line which is a resistance, it can go up above this. इसके ऊपर ही हम बाइंग का कुछ ढूंढेंगे, because wide monthly CPR का मतलब है मे बी यहाँ के फिर पूरा बाकी जो 1-2 हफ्ते बचे, 2-3 हफ्ते बचे, वो यहाँ पे ऐसे sideways चल जाएगा. So Cummins India as well, you know, there is a dynamic resistance. You can take advantage of it because at weekly EMA bullish divergence in the daily chart वो सब है. 012 है इसका टारगेट भी अगर हम करेंगे, so I think ये R1 या somewhere here is the target which is possible. So yes, you can play around with this, but you should be aware of these lines as well. Then you have Dixon. Dixon में weekly chart में you can see there is sensor divergences, which is okay because you know, that means it can correct a little bit, क्योंकि daily chart में there's a triple bearish divergence and this time in RSI as well. क्या ये 012 है मुझे नहीं पता, because you know again Dixon में एक trend line है, maybe narrow CPR है, maybe इसके नीचे जाता है trend line के नीचे, then you can expect a CIP in a weekly chart. Maybe, मैं नहीं बोल रहा होगा, but अगर market का trend उस तरफ रहा तो maybe why not, you know, ये थोड़ा सा करेक्ट हो जाए तो हर्ज भी नहीं है, एंड देन मे बी गिव अ गुड मूव ऑन द अपसाइड. सो डिक्सन इज दैट इज व्हाई इट इज इन द चार्ट, बिकॉज़ डेली में सेंसर डाइवर्जेंस नहीं है, डेली में प्रॉपर डाइवर्जेंस है एंड अच्छा डाइवर्जेंस है. नाउ ऑफ कोर्स यू गाइस कैन चूज टू ट्रेड ऑन द 012 सेटअप्स और विद द ट्रेंड सेटअप्स. Now Godrej consumer PR is here because weekly at EMA अभी भी यहाँ पे एक divergence था. Now there is a probable divergence, we need an uptick. Hourly में divergence already है. There is a wide CPR here in the hourly chart. You can see the weekly CPR is wide. That means ये sideways चलेगा. So maybe this is the time that it comes, gives you a tick up, spends a couple of days here, and then next week it gives you a breakout. That is why it's in the list. It's not the best setup, but अगर ये uptick हो गया, then it becomes a really good setup. So this is why it's in the list. So I could probably put this in the blue list and forget about this for now. Then you have Hero MotoCorp. Now Hero MotoCorp, very simple, weekly at EMA, daily में bullish divergence, and price is going up. Now when the prices are going up, you can see that it is a beautiful setup as well. आज भी last में, if you can see, there's a good move, फिर correction, narrow CPR can move up, gap up खुल जाए तो बहुत अच्छा है. You know, it will give you an opportunity कि CPR के ऊपर gap up खुल रहा है, so confidence थोड़ा ठीक रहता है. And monthly CPR के ऊपर बंद हो जाए कोई भी एक दिन तो better opportunity मिल सकता है. ठीक है. So this is the plan for Hero MotoCorp as well. I think a couple of you already are in it. Hindalco Industries, now somebody again was asking me क्या लगता है and क्या नहीं लगता है, but my thing is again this gap here. This gap has already acted as resistance, went back. Now, will it accept this as a resistance again, correct a little bit and then break out, or break out now as well? तो दोनों हो सकता है. ये आज का जो कैंडल है ना, this is not really, this doesn't mean anything, क्योंकि ये जो wick था कल का कैंडल का, ये वही है, ये ऊपर खुला और ये वहीं पे बंद हो गया. So this is equal to a wick basically. So कल जहाँ बंद हुआ था आज भी वहीं बंद हुआ है. So it's not really, it doesn't really suggest a very negative candle or anything. But yes, if it is a gap up on Monday, if it is a gap up on Monday with a decent follow through, then this CPR holds and can work. Now, of course, guys, remember 9:30 तक मैं trade नहीं करता हूँ, ये आपको भी पता है. I tend not to unless there is something really beautiful and something which is confirming on a daily setup. The reason being is purely that कि कभी-कभी वो R1 छू के नीचे आ जाता है, ऊपर जाके विक बन जाता है, and you guys know about it. I don't have to explain this to you. So हिंडाल्को का ये सीन है कि I think अगर गैप अप खुलता है and exhaust कर लेता है next week gap, then I think even future में ये base बन जाएगा and it might not cross below this. But again, if remember the magic word, enough, and then if is when you execute. IndusInd Bank में प्रॉब्लम आ गया है क्योंकि यहाँ पे एक bearish divergence बन गया वीकली चार्ट में, which is and a doji. डेली चार्ट में एक डाइवर्जेंस है एंड टिक डाउन and narrow CPR है. So if it goes below this, then IndusInd Bank is also something that can correct a little bit. All right. So I am gonna do no sync here. ठीक है, क्योंकि वीकली में भी एक bearish divergence है, which is kind of spoiler. तो अगर ये correct होता है, then of course it can correct a little bit and then do what it's supposed to do. But divergences है, so we've shared in the group. ITC में weekly at EMA, daily में divergence है, 012 है या 012 फिर बनेगा क्या? But what I've been waiting for is a closing above the monthly CPR. Now ये जो shooting star type का candle है, ये बना तो जरूर था, लेकिन इतना बड़ा wick के साथ there's no confidence. Plus next day it did not give a follow through and really fell down. Now the problem here is कि again ये मेरा alert actually इधर था, अभी मैंने alert इसको shift किया है क्योंकि now I have a narrow CPR and I could probably be alert, probably be aware when the prices start going above the CPR here in the weekly chart, early chart in the weekly CPR, and I can probably take profit here, or maybe इस बार breakout हो जाए तो I can enter, because there is a probable, like a very shady kind of a bullish divergence in the early chart at EMA as well. So generally क्या होता है, divergence होता है, ऊपर जाता है, EMA पे आता है, फिर ऊपर जाता है. So ITC, if opens gap up, yeah, goes above this, closes, you can take that tiny risk. I think it's worth it. Another thing that is to be observed, I think if I'm not wrong and I'm not confused, because आज मेरे साथ बहुत confusion हो रहा है, and I'll tell you what happened with my trade today. कि ITC में क्या हो रहा है कि पहले ये discount में चल रहा था. I think I put it here and this spot was at 50 and my future was at 49 or something like that. If I'm not wrong, I'm not sure, but I think वैसा कुछ हो रहा था. अगर वैसा कुछ हो रहा था तो अभी वो premium पे आ गया. This is what I've observed, and we could enter above the CPR, as I said. Oh, Muzammil, very good to see you here. It's long been gone. We've done a CPR thing here. We've introduced another layer on the system. So, that is something that you can learn. So Muzammil was one of the CA batches, I think. That is when you did my course. Super. JK Cements, in the weekly chart, we have a bearish divergence. There is a tick down, of course, and you can see it is from a resistance level as well. So yes, this can again correct unless gap up ho jata hai and something else happens. Narrow CPR bhi hai in the early chart, and monthly bhi narrowish hai. So you could probably get something here as well. So that is why this is in the list, because there's a weekly bearish divergence. Now JSW Steel, again weekly bearish divergence. Daily may no divergence. In fact, daily at EMA there is a bullish divergence. Now there is a conflict of interest, of course. अगर ये नीचे खुलता है और weekly low तोड़ता है, which is basically इस CPR के नीचे रहता है, then that is it, job done. अगर ये ऊपर जाता है और CPR के ऊपर बंद हो जाता है, then we can probably ignore the divergence in the weekly chart and we can probably take this on the upside, because वो R1 in the daily chart monthly CPR के R1 के ऊपर चला जाएगा. Okay, so this is something that you can keep an eye out for, but I think there are better setups. You can probably ignore this unless market is bearish and you want to take a position here. Dr. Lalpat Labs, this is what we discussed during the week. I shared this in our group, that this is the kind of 0-1 setup, 0-1-2 setup that I'm looking for. Now again, let's put a target here. See, the target is 2361, and this was achieved today. And this is when I shared in the group that with a reference key, remember that we took a trade here, or remember that it was discussed here. Now, does that mean that it'll come back down and all that? Yeah, it's a wide weekly CPR. So will it come down? I'm not sure. If I zoom out, you can see my daily chart, right? There's a trend line here. So I think it will come here and it'll break out, and weekly ka acha trend line breakout hua hai, and I think this is going to go up. At least is high tak to aayega hi aur uske upar bhi ja sakta hai. And then eventually you'll figure out there is a head and shoulder here. So agar ye aake yahan ke tod deta hai, so there's a head, shoulder, so shoulder, and breakout hota hai, then targets are huge. So something that you can keep an eye out for, that Dr. Lalpat Labs does have a decent setup. I think this was from my green list. Yes, so it has a monthly bullish divergence as well. So once it goes here, that means it breaks the high of this engulfing bear in the monthly chart. That means this could do the needful, what is needed. So yeah, Dr. Lalpat Labs is in the list, and it's a decent setup as well. Then we have Lotus Labs. This is in the list because there's a bearish divergence in the weekly chart, and in the daily chart it's at resistance pretty much nothing, but there is a narrow CPR. The prices fell, of course, that day, and it corrected, pretty much came back to the level where it fell from. Excuse me. But it does have a narrow CPR, so if it starts falling again or gap down or something like that, then maybe you can take a position here as well. So that is the situation with Lotus Labs. Then we have Marico, which has at resistance, it has a bearish divergence in the weekly chart. Daily chart, it has a bearish divergence as well. Narrow, it is at the monthly R1, monthly CPR R1. So there is a possibility that it can correct till the CPR or maybe beyond. You'll have a narrow CPR in the weekly chart. So WCPR, narrow WCPR, which basically means that if it starts correcting, you can take a position on the downside. So pretty good setup, right, in Marico as well. I'm not saying in the long term वो यहाँ से तबाह हो जाएगा, ऐसा कोई बात नहीं है, लेकिन correction आ ही सकता है, उसमें traders लोग काफी पैसे बना लेते हैं, ठीक है. Then we have Pidilite Industries. Pidilite Industries, this is in the list because there is well, there was a divergence here. There is, if there's an uptick now, there will be another divergence in the daily chart. Now that is a brilliant setup, of course, and in the weekly chart you can see it is at the border of the channel. In the hourly chart, you can see there's a narrow CPR, and hence I put an alert here, because if there is a gap up opening, or if the prices go up, I will get a tick up in my chart, and I can consider that trade maybe later on. All right, that is why it's in the list. Again, is it the best setup for Monday? Maybe not. Maybe if there is an uptick on Monday, then Tuesday onwards, we will get something out of this. PI Industry in the weekly chart, we are at weekly EMA. There is a bearish engulfing at the bottom, which is good. Bullish divergence in the daily chart. Today, there's a bearish engulfing pattern. But once again, if you see, I've put my alert above the CPR in the hourly chart. However, there is a wide CPR in the monthly chart. So maybe you need another uptick, or maybe gap up, or maybe the high of today breaks, and then you can enter positions on the upside. So PI Industries is in the list. There is a setup, 0-1-2 setup, divergent setup, but wait for enough confirmation according to the hourly chart. Maybe draw a line or something and see if that kind of breaks or something, and you get a trade on the upside. Then we come to Ramco Cement. Now Ramco Cement, again, forget about the weekly chart, daily chart at EMA. There was a bullish divergence here, so it goes up, comes to EMA, goes up, comes to EMA. At EMA, we do have like a series of bullish divergences, and support from S1 in the weekly CPR. Now narrow CPR at R1, if it opens gap up, or if it starts going up on Monday above this pivot, the CPR in the hourly chart, this can prove to be a good setup as well. So Ramco Cement, you can have a look. Of course, it is all if it goes above that. If it goes and closes above that, people, again, let me remind you, if you're not used to the terminology, don't worry about it. It's just to show you that how we do the weekly scans. You can, of course, learn and get back on it. RBL Bank, weekly at EMA, you can see this. Daily, we do have the prices here, which my alert basically is so that the prices close above the monthly CPR. It has bounced from the set S1 in the monthly CPR, and then I can enter. However, I think the CPR in the hourly chart is far away, and I might not be able to put a risk to it properly. So maybe we can wait on this one. I'm going to just put this in the blue list. All right, next I would have I done Ramco? I've done Ramco, right? Then let's do SBI. State Bank of India, very simple. You can see it's at resistance, fell at EMA. There was a bullish divergence, went back. It is at R1. Once again, I think I've not removed this from my list. At the moment, there is a white CPR. So this is not in the list. So let's go to Sun TV. Sun TV, daily at EMA, bullish divergence in the hourly chart, and you have a narrow weekly CPR as well. So above the CPR, that is why my alert is. This is why it's in the list. UBL, as you can see, weekly chart correcting. There is a bearish divergence here, tick down as well. Now, is this CIP or is this, gonna go up? So you have one alert above this because monthly R1 ke upar hai, upar gaya, maybe test hai, fir upar ja raha hai. So that is your alert that if it goes above the weekly CPR, I'm gonna get in. Now, the second point is, what if it doesn't go above and it goes below? Then you're gonna set an alert on your daily scan below this R1. If it starts going below the monthly R1, that means it is going to come to the CPR. So we can probably take advantage of that. But agar you see iske upar gaya, then it's a retest and you're expecting good moves on the upside. Then we have Zeal. Now we have Zeal because I think we had a head and shoulder earlier. So let me remove these lines so that it makes more sense. Now Zeal is at EMA. There is a bullish divergence again here, and you have a narrow weekly CPR. So again, if it goes above this, we can buy. You can draw a mini channel here as well in the hourly chart, and you can expect this to break out if it does, and you can enter positions here as well as a trade. All right, guys. So that's about it. I've got about so finally 23 stocks here that we've discussed. Is there any stock that you want me to look at? Please let me know in the chat box, and I'm going to have a look at it before we go on to the indices and then commodities and the cash stocks. I keep looking for the chat window on my right hand side, by the way, guys, so don't worry about it. All right, plenty of IEX. All right, so IEX was in my list, so I'm going to come to IEX. Where do I look at here? Maybe here. All right, IEX, of course, you know that monthly has a bullish divergence. Weekly is this here. So let it load first. Or maybe I share here IEX. Okay, so monthly clearly bullish divergence, a couple of weeks left. Weekly trend line broken. Is this a test? I'm not sure. See, the good thing here is that there was a daily gap which is exhausted. So now if this is a test, all I'm looking for is an hourly bullish divergence, or if you can see my alert is above the WCPR in the hourly chart. So either way, if something, I mean, generally मैंने क्या देखा है कि if यहाँ से अगर ऊपर जाता है और यहाँ पे divergence नहीं था bullish divergence, then ये sometimes वापस आता है एक divergence बना के फिर जाता है. So maybe spends another couple of days, maybe Monday, Tuesday to create that divergence. Maybe comes here, creates the divergence at S1 and then turns around. I don't know, but I am looking for bullish opportunities at least till the gap holds in the daily chart. That's my plan. It is taking support from the R1 as well, narrow monthly CPR R1, which is also a good sign. So that is my plan here regarding IEX. All right, so now let's go to the next stock that is in the chat box. IRC Aircon. Oh wow, so nothing here. इसमें क्या मैं बताऊं? मतलब if I have to, if you were saying what do I think, it looks bullish. Let me open a monthly chart right now. Yeah, क्या है इसमें? मतलब I have no opinion. There's no bearish divergence that कि अभी निकल जाएं. If you're asking me when is the right time to exit, then the magic word is enough, or when you think it is the right time. So Ircon, nothing, yeah, all looks good. Next is IEX, we've already discussed. Next is Poonawalla. So Poonawalla FinCorp, I'll choose this template. Poonawalla wala FinCorp. Now Puna wala FinCorp again. So monthly is still on. So yeah, looks all right. I think there were opportunities here. Monthly bullish divergence and monthly EMA, weekly EMAs. Weekly EMA, there was a bullish divergence here on the daily chart around 280 levels. Now it's at 388 at weekly EMA. There is no bullish divergence, but it has gone above the S1s and it's a narrow line CPR in the monthly chart. So maybe it comes till the CPR, maybe it goes above. It looks all right. Maybe it goes till here. Let me just quickly check the hourly chart. Yeah, so right, if you're looking to invest, I think it's okay. Weekly chart में trading highs चल रहा है, तो इसका high टूटता है like 399 for 400 levels टूटता है, तो you can enter. Looks good. You can plot your WCPR. It's a narrow CPR. It might go up, and when it is going up in the hourly chart, it'll have a head and shoulder also if it does go up. So basically, the plan is if it does go up, so that could be your plan first, and then of course you can manage your risk according to the monthly CPR in the daily chart. So I think that is for Puna wala FinCorp. It looks nice. If it goes higher and then comes back during this month to create a bullish divergence, I wouldn't mind that as well. I think that would be perfect for a re-entry opportunity, but this is good enough as well. Okay, so I am bullish, but I have to look for the best opportunity in Puna wala FinCorp, I think. Next stock we have is IB Real Estate. All right. So let's, this template is fine. So we had a monthly bullish divergence, of course, 012. And as I remember, we've spoken about this before as well. So if I consider this as 012, this resistance is about the target. यहाँ पे जो बना हुआ है, weekly chart में भी you can see, resistance टाटा धीरे धीरे जा रहा है इधर. Now उसके बीच में जो swings आ रहे हैं ना, this will keep coming यार. Real estate stocks में ये bearish diamond था, नीचे ये तक है. हाँ, this is okay. अब अगर हम hourly chart में जाते हैं, same stock. Let me open in this template. Yeah, there's no bullish divergence here, so maybe it comes back, creates something, and then goes back up. Narrow monthly CPR. So yeah, ठीक है. I mean, considering that my target is somewhere here around these levels, looking at the resistance. वो बीच में जो ऊपर नीचे होता है होगा यार. So as a trading, I don't know. Investment के लिए, if you're holding, it looks fine, I believe. Remember, guys, new guys especially, all for educational purpose only. Please don't misuse the information here. All right, guys, that's it. So let's quickly, before I go on to the cash stocks and we discuss those 3-4 important cash stocks, let's do the indices quickly. So Nifty, as you can see, monthly chart, they tick down हुआ लेकिन ऊपर चला गया. ये ऐसे ही होता है monthly charts में, and they cross various levels. So looking very nice. Weekly chart भी RSI के ऊपर घुस गया, तो इसमें bearishness का कोई अभी बात नहीं है. Now best opportunity कब मिलेगा? अगर ये hourly CPR के आसपास आ जाए next week, अगर आ जाए, आ तो रहा नहीं है, and then it gives you an opportunity to go back up again. So I think that will be fantastic if you can grab that opportunity. Bank Nifty में खोलते हैं. Bank Nifty में, all right, so somebody's asking for Suzlon. Let me do Suzlon quickly. Suzlon monthly chart, yeah, it's okay यार, मतलब resistance के आसपास आ चुका है, लेकिन but be careful, there is a sensor divergence here, so maybe there's a gap also. Use this gap ना. Weekly chart में gap है, use that gap. So gap test हो रहा है, तो अगर इसका high टूटता है, then daily chart में भी you can see this, right? Test हो रहा है, monthly CPR के ऊपर बंद हो गया, अगर इसका follow through आता है ऊपर की तरफ, W shape से, yeah, so it can go till R1 also. So this is okay as well. Suzlon, no problem, right? All right, let's go back to Bank Nifty. All right, Bank Nifty में क्या है कि so I showed you in Bank में bearish divergence था, a couple of them have that. Bank Nifty में खाली एक ही problem है that it is at a resistance. Now two things can happen. I mean, let me just sync this here. Right, two things can happen. One, that it can go here. There are sensor divergence correct till the CPR, जैसे मैंने निफ्टी में बात किया था, CPR तक आ गया और फिर ऊपर गया, तब तो it'll be fantastic. If it comes to CPR and gives you an opportunity, तब ये सब हो जाएगा. Resistance है, थोड़ा नीचे खुल गया, थोड़ा ऊपर खुल गया, all that का काम हो जाएगा. लेकिन अगर CPR के ऊपर ब्रेकआउट हो गया तो हम फिर भी एंटर कर सकते हैं. जस्ट वेट फॉर अ कंफर्मेशन कि अच्छे से ब्रेकआउट हो जाए, CIP आ जाए एंड देन यू एंटर. सो बैंक निफ्टी का प्लान वो है. इसका भी मंथली चार्ट में आई थिंक इट हैज ब्रोकन द हाइज, सो टिक डाउन का कोई वैल्यू नहीं रहा अभी तक. अगर कुछ सेकंड हाफ ऑफ द मंथ हो गया, विच विल नो, वील मीट एवरी फ्राइडे एनीवे, सो हम उसको चेंज कर सकते हैं. Manav Singhi, time Techno Plus. Manav, just give me a second. I'll finish Bank Nifty and we'll talk about this. So, इसमें भी same thing. Weekly chart, we can see there's, it is at a resistance. So there is like that slight doubt कि क्या होगा. So let's see how next week pans out. Gap down खुल गया तो something to worry about. Look at the CPR here all the time. And अगर Monday sideways चला गया and CPR तक आ गया, then also it's a good sign, for you to re-enter. So anyway, so I've got another stock here, Time Techno Plus. Let me have a look. Oops, Time Techno Plus. Oh, beautiful, right? Started with a bullish divergence here in 2020, went up. यहाँ पे, oh, another opportunity here, went up. फिर यहाँ EMA पे अब भी opportunity मिला था, March 23. Oh, this was beautiful. This looks all right. Ceiling है यहाँ तक का, looks all right. No problem here as well. Time Technoplast. I think this was, I mean, people who are from our tribe here can understand why I'm saying, oh wow, March 23, we did Oro Pharma then, right? Birlasoft then. So that's a beautiful setup here. Sahi hai. If you're entered somewhere here in June, March, April, May, June, somewhere here, this is not April actually. Let me correct you. April. 3rd April के बाद से कभी भी enter अगर किया हो till June, May end, first week of June, this was a beautiful setup. And it's doing very, very well. अभी भी कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. बीच में अगर कोई swing या कोई एक week छोटा सा black candle बनता है, that's not a problem. But in a long term, I think there's a ceiling here. Looks okay. All right. Okay, guys, let's quickly do gold, and I'll tell you what happened. It was a drastic mistake. So we started with gold. Let me start with the monthly chart first. Monthly is okay, thoda sideways chal raha hai, it doesn't matter. Weekly is okay. If it ends like this, we are buying gold, okay, next week, hopefully. Now daily chart mein you can see there's a beautiful range and iske andar ja raha hai, and aaj gap up khula tha. This is where we entered gold, right? Now the funny part, what happened was, of course this is not going to go on YouTube, this is just between us and the live people here. The funny part, what happened was, I managed few accounts, right? So बाकी accounts में तो मैंने buy कर लिया. मेरे खुद के account में I was playing with my kid and I accidentally, instead of putting a stop loss, I sold gold. So fortunately, before I started this webinar, we squared off also somewhere here. 59,000 is where we squared off. And जब मैंने अपना ऐप दिखा, मैं बोला, मुझे नेगेटिव क्यों दिखा रहा है, ऐप में लगता है प्रॉब्लम है. And then I saw the blunder that I did. So this has happened to me after like maybe a decade or 8-9 years के बाद मेरे साथ ऐसा हुआ है. So I'm waiting till my son comes back and I'm gonna lock my room and I'm gonna not allow him inside. But that's a funny part कि मेरे साथ हुआ है 8-9 साल बाद. I can't remember last time मेरे साथ ऐसा हुआ है. मुझे बड़ा अजीब लगता था जब लोग मुझे बोलते थे, यार सर मेरे साथ ये हो गया, मेरे stupid error, instead of buying I sold it. But fortunately I squared off when I saw that error, and here I am. But anyway, gold, yes. So coming back to it, if you agree that it happens to all of us, please type happens, HTU, happens to all of us, right? HTU. So that I know that you guys, this is the way you can laugh at me, I guess. But what a trade, yeah. What a trade today. All right. So next we have silver. Silver, again, same thing, guys. Look at this beautiful range, right? And in gold, in fact, when I go back to gold, gold ka layout, dekho, there was a 2-hour bullish divergence. S1, monthly S1 pay, guys. Monthly S1 pay. There was a bullish divergence. It went above R1, opened above R1, gap up. And remember, this is where we took entry 740, 750 levels. यहाँ पे घुसे थे, and हमें approximately 300 points gold में आज मिल चुका. और भी मिलते अगर आप यहाँ थे. Fortunately, मेरे लिए तो luckily I got out. But yes, this is and it's gonna go higher, and that's what I'm saying. Like when the weekly CPR changes, so let me go back to gold, guys, and let me talk about this. So you can see there's the CPR here, right? When the weekly CPR changes, it'll be a white CPR if it closes like this, or भी ऊपर close होगा तो और white CPR होगा, and you can kind of use the CPR if it comes back. The plan is to buy, right? The plan is to buy. You'll have a narrow CPR here. अगर narrow monthly CPR के ऊपर चला जाता है, weekly CPR broad भी है, तो you can use the narrow monthly CPR and the 30-minute या 15-minute का daily CPR to enter. So maybe not Monday. If you're holding it, keep holding it. Looks like a good trade. If you're going to enter next week, then wait for that opportunity. Then you have silver. As I said, silver as well, same setup. Manav, wait for a second. Let me finish this, and we'll come to that. So silver, again, we have in a range. We don't have a divergence here. We don't have a divergence in a 2-hour chart as well, but it did go. Let me open silver here in the CPR layout. So CPR as well, it did start from the monthly S1, weekly S1 region, which was at the same level, and gap up opening and did well. Why did I not do silver and why did I do gold? Because gold had a trend line. It was very near to it with a breakout. Silver had this resistance level. So अगर मैं यहाँ करता भी ना तो मतलब already यहाँ तक आ चुका था एक बार, तो मैं confident नहीं था इसके लिए. So silver again, not right now because it does have a wide monthly CPR also. So I have to play around with it, and hopefully. Let's go back to silver. If it ends like this, and if I have a narrow CPR in the hourly chart or the 2-hour chart, and if it gives me a test, I might take advantage of that next week. All right, coming to crude. Coming to crude oil, again, I've told you this since January this year that I'm waiting for it to buy crude, and even now I think crude prices are going to go higher. And nothing fundamentally, it is all technical. The first resistance comes here around this level. It is almost there, right? It's almost there. So another 100, 200 points. And then maybe you get an opportunity for a correction, and then maybe another breakout, later. So wait till it comes back to EMA, and then we wait to enter crude once again. But as I said, nothing right now. Natural gas. Now, natural gas, when we start this one here, in the monthly chart, there's nothing. In the weekly chart, you can see there was a bearish divergence, low nahi toota uska, and abhi wapas tick up bhi nahi ho raha hai, it's still down tick. So you're still expecting something to happen here. Now there is an upward trend line here, and there is a solid resistance line here. So it either breaks down on this side or upside. So either way, we need to take advantage of this when it does. Now, when I open the CPR layout, you can see that the narrow CPR has been, kind of broken either side with a resistance here. So we are waiting for a more confirmation. Natural gas, actually we avoid this. So gold, silver mein setups milenge. Then we come to copper. Guys, I'm coming to cash stocks very soon. So don't go away, because there are 3 or 4 cash stocks which are going to be discussed today, right? So copper weekly chart, as I said, there is a trend line here, and it's almost breaking. Every time I come here to, tootne wala hai, wo nahi toota hai. But because gold and silver are pretty bullish, in fact, today aaj ye gira hai, ek gap exhaust bhi hua hai. So copper might give you an opportunity, but I'm waiting for something. So let that happen. Abhi nahi karenge. And zinc also, there was a bearish divergence earlier on Tuesday, but no follow through, nothing. And then, there was a gap down. You can see 2 hour made, no follow through, and it went up. So that was, kind of a horrible plan. But if it does a CIP here or something, or maybe give me another opportunity somewhere with a bullish or bearish divergence, I take it. But gold silver के अलावा commodity में और setup next week शायद नहीं मिले. All right, अगर कुछ मिलेगा, so you'll all, of course, come to know about it as well. Now, let's come to the cash stocks. All right, so somebody asked me for a stock, so let me first do that. Miss Than Food. All right, that's a BSC stock. Oh wow, so that was an entry here at EMA bullish. Yes, there was an entry here in 12th June. 12th June वाला week जो शुरू होता है वहाँ पे entry था. But there is a bearish divergence here in the weekly chart here, so it can correct. अगर इस week का low 12.98 whatever 12.95 अगर टूटता है, then it can correct a little bit, I think. And double top भी है यहाँ पे, and then there is a possibility of a correction. Yeah, है तो सही, ठीक है. But again, इसका अगर low टूटता है तब, only then. But yeah, I don't know यार fundamental of this stock. I don't know anything about this stock, to be honest. So I'm not sure about the fundamentals, but technically speaking, these are stocks which we don't really trade. You know, 8 rupees, 7 rupees stock हम generally नहीं trade करते. लेकिन tick down है, bearish divergence है, अगर इसका low टूटता है, then it can correct a little. ये मैं आपको बता सकता हूँ शायद. Again, educational purpose only. Please guys, consult your analyst or financial advisor before taking any decision. All right guys, so cash stocks quickly. मैंने sugar stocks पे एक video निकाला था. If you've not seen this, then you know, if there's something here, or just go to my channel again, you know, and you'll see the ethanol wala video. Look at that and concentrate on that. हमने ये video I think 1-2 दिन पहले बनाया था, और यहाँ पे अच्छा setup था. You know, you can see there's a bullish dive on the 012 setup, and there is, you know, immediate target if I have to put on it. Yeah, guys, again, this is educational purpose. We are using Fibonacci is this here, 161.8, which is a decent target from where we made the video, and it's doing well as well. And this is one stock, if this sector has to do well, this is one stock which has a good market cap. All right, तो ये absolutely जा सकता है 161.8 पे. एक बार जाके आप लोग observe करना क्या हमें profit book करना है if you're trading, because इस bearish diamond का क्या वो 012 हो रहा है कि नहीं, all that will, you know, if you know, you know. So this is one stock that I want to talk about. If you want a detailed analysis, go to that video and then have a look at EID Perry, and then Dwarake Sugar again, weekly ITMA, sorry, monthly ITMA, weekly there was a bullish divergence. There was a tiny bit of resistance here daily chart में, अगर आपको दिख रहा है मैंने जो parallel line बना रखा है, ये भी कल टूट गया था. So this again has a potential to, you know, go to the previous highs. Once again, if you want a detailed analysis on that, go to that video and watch that video. Then I want to speak about IOLCP. IOLCP, fantastic setup in the monthly chart. Look at that trend breakout. Ceiling है, पूरा ceiling खाली है. अभी खाली ये चक्कर है कि ceiling के बीच में एक हमने false ceiling बना रखा है, which is the gap here. और यहाँ से false ceiling से बार-बार ये resistance ले रहा है. Daily chart में भी आपको दिख रहा है. Daily में एक bearish divergence है, जिसमें एक RSI में भी divergence है. So it might correct a little bit before giving you a, you know, like a push on the upside. ये gap exhaust होना बहुत जरूरी है for any further up move. But remember, if it exhausts, then इसको वापस नीचे, ये बेस बन जाएगा. So इसको वापस नीचे आना भी बहुत मुश्किल हो जाएगा. So हम अगर आपको लग रहा है कि यार वो तो बहुत लेट हो जाएगा, तो आप समझो ये अगर लेट नहीं, ये अगर हम एंट्री लेंगे तो यही हमारा रिस्क रहेगा यहीं कहीं पे. So लेट मेरे ख्याल से नहीं होगा. I think that will be confirmation of the information that we are looking at. So मेरा opinion रहेगा कि you wait for that confirmation, unless of course you get something like a re-entry opportunity near the weekly or a daily EMA, then of course why not. So IOLCP एक मेरा पिक है जिसको आपको ध्यान रखना है. ये मैं पिक इसलिए कर रहा हूँ, ये इसलिए नहीं है कि कल से भाई लेना है. ये पिक इसलिए है कि आपको ध्यान रहे कि ये एक स्टॉक है जिसका सीलिंग खुला हुआ है, एंड मुझे इसको एंट्री करना है जब भी मुझे मेरे इन्फॉर्मेशन को कंफर्मेशन मिल जाए. ठीक है. देन वी कम टू टैनला. Tanla, you can see it, you know, it is at EMA. Of course, you know, there are a couple of weeks left, so we are still there. यहाँ पे भी देखो गैप से रेजिस्टेंस लेके नीचे आया at EMA. ट्रेलिंग हाइज हो रहे हैं, मतलब एवरी वीक लोअर हाइज बन रहे हैं. लास्ट वीक हायर हाई बना था, और इस वीक भी अच्छा कैंडल बनाए, हैमर बनाए. हाई नहीं टूटा है, बट यू कैन सी माय अलर्ट इज सेट एट द हाई. Now when we come to the daily chart, there is no divergence here, but you can see that, you know, you can see there is a like a nice retracement, and you can see there's a cup and handle. You can see various things here. Now why I put an alert here, because अगर ये ऊपर खुल के यहाँ के ऊपर बंद हो जाता है, मंथली CPR के ऊपर बंद हो जाता है, then this is a good sign कि भाई मंथली पिवट के ऊपर बंद हो गया है. So you know, maybe this can start going towards the gap at least. उससे ऊपर जाए तो why not, you know, nothing like it, because again in the monthly chart you can see there was a bullish divergence and ceiling is पूरा खाली. ठीक है. So Tanla is another stock that I want to talk about. I think the last stock that I want to talk about was Indoco Remedies. I think I made a video a couple of months ago in April, maybe April May के आसपास, and we had a bullish divergence May में, but इसका confirmation नहीं हुआ था, so हमें execution नहीं मिला. So even if you see when we share the list of our YouTube videos कि उसका क्या हुआ जब हमने बनाया, उसके बाद क्या हुआ, तो आप देखोगे कि हमारे पास इसमें एक blank cell है, क्योंकि हमारा execution नहीं हुआ. So अब जाके लास्ट मंथ अपटिक हुआ, और इस मंथ कंफर्मेशन भी हो गया, इसका हाई टूट गया है, अच्छे से टूट रहा है. नाउ ऑफ कोर्स यू नो, यू वेट फॉर अ गुड अपॉर्चुनिटी. आपको लेना है तो यहाँ लेके, यू नो दिस इज योर रिस्क, दिस हैज बिकम द बेस नाउ. यू नो, अगेन कंसल्ट योर, यू नो, डू योर एनालिसिस बिफोर यू डू एनीथिंग, बट दिस हैज कम बैक टू आवर रेडार, एंड आई थिंक दिस इज समथिंग दैट यू कैन कीप एन आई आउट फॉर. ऐसे तो एक और स्टॉक है, मैं इसका भी बात कर लेता हूँ आपसे, जुबिलेंट Pharmanova, इसमें भी लेकिन problem ये एक gap ही है, the false ceiling that I'm talking about. So maybe we wait for this, maybe not discuss it today. We just stop at Indoco remedies. So I've discussed 2 sugar stocks that we did last time, and ILCP, Tanla, and Indoco remedies. These 3 stocks for this week, you need to keep it in your watch list, and you need to just keep an eye out for this. If your analysis matches my analysis, then kya baat hai? Why not? All right, guys, that's about it for cash stocks as well. I think that's it. We finished our analysis today. Hopefully you all had fun. Is there any question that I can answer today? I'm here. Please put it in the chat box. चैट बॉक्स में डालिए, अच्छे सेटअप्स हैं, आपको मैंने दिखा दिया टैनला में कैसे एंटर करना है, कहाँ मेरे अलर्ट्स लगे, you can see this in the screen as well, right? ILCP as well, what we are waiting for, and of course 2 sugar stocks that we've discussed earlier as well. You wanted to discuss Globus. Oh, the third stock. I've not actually followed this. Let's see. Globus Spirits monthly at EMA. Yes, so it started from here, it went up. At EMA there is no weekly bullish diamond, but there is a W shape which is pretty good. Bullish diamond यहाँ पे था at monthly EMA, ऊपर गया, correct हुआ. यहाँ पे एक divergence daily chart में जरूर है, ये मेरा एक gap है daily का, और यहीं पे monthly CPR भी है. So I'm actually waiting for it to close above this for like confirmation of information कि मुझे इतना confirmation मिल जाए. But yes, I think this was also in that video of ethanol that we made. So this is going up, and this is like a complete retracement, and maybe if अगर ये month अच्छा बंद हो गया, like ऐसे bullish हरामी या something of that sort, तब तो क्या बात है, मतलब nothing like it. So if we can wait for the month to finish and or go above this, exhaust this gap, then I think that will be perfect. That's my plan for this talk. All right. Oh wow, a lot of discussion here. So you want me to check exchanging? All right. So this was one of those bumper stock that we picked. So we entered here, remember, like after the bullish divergence, 54 and something, and we made a video here, and this is what happened. So yeah, man, it can happen. मैंने बताया था शायद ये CIP हो सकता है, bullish divergence हो सकता है, but again मेरा alert देखो कहाँ लगा हुआ है. My alert is set above the monthly CPR. So इसके ऊपर closing देगा ना, तभी मैं इसको वापस re-entry कर सकता हूँ. और अभी तो लग रहा है corrective wave है, maybe it comes down a wee bit, then gives you a bullish divergence and then moves up on the upside. वैसा लग रहा है, but something that has moved so fast in such a short span of time. Ceiling देखो कहाँ पे, लेकिन it can go sideways for a few months also ना, कि इतना जल्दी इतना बढ़ गया है तो maybe थोड़ा सा टक 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 and then फिर धड़क ऊपर मार देगा. So that can also happen. That is my point. So yeah, you can be patient. Just check fundamentals if you read into that stuff, if you're investing, if it's enough, what to do and all of that. Yeah. And meanwhile, if you get a bearish divergence somewhere, then you know what to do. You just stay out of it and re-enter later. After that, we have exchanging Global Spirits. We've done Aarti Drugs. Global Spirits, yeah, that's what I did, right? Sorry, Globus. Yeah, so that is what I did. Yeah. All right, and Aarti Drugs. So Aarti Drugs green list, that means monthly bullish divergence. So you're buying, ceiling upar khali hai. Weekly May, this was a re-entry opportunity because see gap up, gap tested, good candle. अब ये week में there is a bearish divergence but censored यार, अगर है भी ना तो I think maybe यहाँ तक वापस आके चला जाएगा, because even in the daily chart I thought this was like a corrective wave and then it kind of broke out. So yeah, I think monthly CPR भी narrow है, अगर आ भी गया यहाँ पे फिर maybe retreat हो जाएगा. So monthly chart looks good. Now what happens now, does it come till the EMAs, ये थोड़ा ऊपर जाएगा, ये थोड़ा नीचे जाएगा, फिर भागेगा? I don't know, that I'm not too sure. All right, this is if you're investing in this. Of course, I don't know if this has a future. Does this? No, it doesn't have a future. All right, then you have Motherson Sumi. This is also okay. Yeah, monthly chart. Look at that. We bought it here. Monthly bullish divergence again. Resistance थोड़ा अब नया यहाँ पे एक, there is this. If you can see here, इसको gap बोल लो, जो support ले रहा था, resistance exhaust हुआ, फिर ऊपर गया है, now it's taking like a resistance here. So again, if you get an opportunity on the upside, maybe a good weekly candle, maybe it comes here, then gives you an opportunity, then why not? Mothers and Sumi is also something, but hey, it's a point of interest. मतलब पहले जो support था, अभी resistance बन रहा है, so it might correct a little bit also. I wouldn't be surprised if it does that, but again, in the longer vision, then I'm always looking to buy if it comes near the EMA somewhere. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Again, guys, whatever we're discussing, if you're not in the tribe, you understand that this is all for educational purpose only. It is based on our system. If you like it, scan it on your own system and then take a call, of course. Then we have Aisha Motors. Aisha Motors में actually कुछ है, ये मेरे blue list में है, correct. I think I see something, but I'm going to wait for it. इसमें weekly में it looks like a corrective wave, this करके, and daily में there was a bullish diamond, ऊपर गया नीचे आया. Sorry, weekly में there was a bullish diamond, ऊपर गया नीचे आया EMA पे, then there's correcting. So यहाँ पे ना मेरे को confusion है. So I don't want to say anything unless I'm really clear, because यहाँ पे ये वाला जो gap है ना, this is very important. So that is why Aisha Motors, mainly I think either I'm waiting for this to exhaust on the upside to do any buying if needed, and either I'm just waiting for it to give me like a bearish signal, really bad bearish signal that I can take advantage of that as well. So abhi mujhe nahi pata yaar. Let me not comment on this stock. Aarti Pharma Labs. Okay, let's do this one. Aarti Pharma Labs. All right. No data yaar. So monthly, weekly, you can see there's hardly any data. Daily chart mein, who's this? I think we've spoken about this stock before as well. So there is a point of interest. Yahan pe there was a entry on the upside. Ab upar chal raha hai, there's no bearish divergence, nothing. So koi problem nahi hai. मेरे कहने का मतलब है, there was another point of interest here. You can see this. कि इसको भी ब्रेकआउट करके CIP देके अब चल रहा है, तो चलने तो जब तक बेरिश डायमंड्स होगा भी तो सेंसर्ड होगा, so it doesn't matter. So it looks all right. All right. Yeah, guys, I think that's about it. I think, can you check NHPC? All right, let's do that as well. NHPC. NHPC, yeah, looks all right यार. मतलब इसमें कुछ है ही नहीं बोलने को, मतलब सब ऊपर है. Nothing to say यार. Looks all right. Looks all right. No problem. अगर पकड़े हुए हो तो पकड़े रहो. No problem. All right, guys. So that's it. That's our scan finished. I think we don't have any more requests as well, guys. If you this is what we're going to do every Friday. So guys, don't miss it. If you have people who want to understand how do we do scanning and how do we look at, of course, I don't know if they'll understand the terms and everything, the analysis part. But if they want to come and have a look, then of course, more than welcome. Please share the link. You will get the link every week in the tribe, in the Telegram. Guys who are not from the tribe and you're here, please join the Telegram group so that you understand and you can attend these sessions as well.